and hairstyle can contain great spiritual symbolism, where the thousands of years old style of locks is one way, which of course carry many layers of meaning depending on the person, culture and time period. People nowadays wear locks for spiritual, cultural, historical, aesthetic and or practical reasons. In many ancient traditions, however, locks represented more than an individual choice and instead pointed at a connection to the divine, a renunciation of vanity, and a cultural alignment with natural law. The latest cultural expression of dreadlocks in the 20th century can be found in Jamaican religious and social movements as cultural and or political statements. The locks became a visible marker of religious identity, resistance to colonial cultural norms, and Afrocentrism, since the same hairstyle existed in several African countries. Photographs and portraits from 19th century document African indigenous leaders, medicine men, or community elders wearing locked hair, which symbolized a holder of spiritual power and an expression of alignment with earth and nature. Hey you, perfect soul. I am Sophia Cham, PhD and author. My passion is esoteric wisdom and spiritual self-leadership. At my channel, you can find more information about my latest book, Spiritual Social Activism, which you can buy at Amazon. Follow to not miss my 2 new coming books, where I describe how you can awaken and strengthen your dormant abilities with new parapsychic abilities, intelligences, cognitive abilities, and mental processes you can only imagine. You have divine potentials within you, just waiting to be used. Dreadlocks are commonly thought of many people to be invented in Jamaica, but the culture there only started from around 1930s, 1940s Rastafari movement, where locked hair increasingly appeared as a visible marker of religious or oppositional identity. Rastafarians adopted dreadlocks based on both African cultural traditions and biblical passages, particularly Leviticus 21 and Numbers 6. With the Nazarite vow, they shall let the locks of the hair of their head grow. Dreadlocks became to the Rastafari believers a symbol of their covenant with God, a link to their African identity, and a visual rejection of Western beauty standards. The term dreadful locks was probably initially a derogatory term used by Jamaican society toward the poor and marginalized early Rastafari adherents. The Rastafarians then embraced and transformed the term into meaning respect for God, the dread of God. The revival of natural and locked hairstyle also became deeply tied to Black identity, pride and resistance movements, particularly during the civil rights era and beyond. From 1950s, 1960s, the Rastafari movement solidified dreadlocks as a central religious and cultural symbol, where globally visible reggae musicians popularized and politicized the style in anti-colonial and Black Pride contexts. The one and only is, of course, Bob Marley, with his widely recognized and reproduced photographs and album art, where he, with his locks, made an outward declaration of roots, defiance, and unwavering faith. Nowadays, the Rastafari movement is in general symbolized with the Lion of Judah, which provides strength, naturalness, and rebellion against Babylon and the oppression, corrupt, and Eurocentric system of Western society. The dreadlocks came to be a symbol of a natural state, a crown of righteousness, and a connection to Jah. Today, dreadlocks have become even more widespread across different communities and adopted by varied groups as an aesthetic choice, a political statement, a spiritual awakening, a natural lifestyle, and or personal identity marker. Anyone who wants to have dreadlocks can have them. Unlike thousands of years ago, when only royals or priests were allowed to wear them. But wearing locks can, as in the early Rastafari movement, still provoke, which in the US has led to the Crown Act against race-based hair discrimination in workplace or school. Somehow the statement of locks seemed to provoke some people, which is interesting when you consider that fact that locks in ancient Africa, in Egypt, was a sign of royal blood and or priesthood. So, follow and like to not miss next video where we will go back in history some thousands of years. One love, stay blessed, follow and like.